What's up, guys? So today we are giving you guys an update on our chick project. Now, this chick project, a few weeks back, we went and we picked up 30 baby chicks, and it's basically that we have a project that I thought about, which is completely crazy, and I mean, I'm the only crazy person that would ever think that basically I want to call them worm-fed chickens. So that's the main goal. So our goal is going to be that we want to produce human consumption chicken where they're grown on worms. Now, today we're giving you an update. Eventually, I'll give you more and more information about how exactly I got into that project, but I want to give you a worm feeding update today. So it's super interesting because chickens, if you would give them some food to choose from, I'm willing to bet that 100% of the time they're going to be eating the worms before anything else, before grain, before vegetables or whatever. If they're just for their sake, they will always prefer the worms as to everything else. So it's going to be really interesting to see if we give them more and more protein, to see what type of meat we're going to be able to produce. Now, our update, we're a few weeks after. So I mean, the chickens, they started having their feathers grow and they're doing really well. We ended up losing one, so we have 29 left, but they're doing great. And we've basically started feeding some worms after a week. We're not feeding them exclusively worms because of a price issue, and I will get to that very shortly. So I mean, but we're feeding them grain and worms. Now, today is a very, very special day. But before, if you guys want to be able to access some crazy content like we're going to do, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to our channel, like this video, share it. This is something that nobody else in the world, I'm sure that if you look everywhere online, on YouTube, you're not going to find a video about worm-fed chickens. And I mean, I'll explain to you why. So today we're going to be feeding them a $5,000 meal.
A what?
A $5,000 meal. And let me explain to you why, and why I am crazy like I am.
Yeah.
So yes, it's $5,000. And I mean, we're going to be feeding them mealworms, black soldier flies, and silkworms. And I'm going to show this to you right away because you have to understand, when I'm saying $5,000, I am not playing. I'm talking about $5,000 worth of silkworms that I'm going to be feeding to 29 chickens that cost me $1 each.
Are you mad, man?
I am completely crazy. So here, let me show you that. So here you go. So this right here is 5,000, and I say 5,000, it might be even more. So it's probably, we're guessing about maybe like 7,000 silkworms. Now, we produce silkworms for the pet trade. Now, these little worms are sold in pet stores for anywhere between 50 cents to $1.25 each. We're talking about Canadian dollars right here, so it's like, I don't know, like 10 cents US and a penny euro. No, I'm just playing. So anyway, so it is about $1 each that you find them in the pet store. Now, why am I feeding those animals? So this is the whole concept of our chickens, our worm-fed chicken, especially coming and being produced by me, is because we produce and source our own worms. Now, those worms are bred every week. Now, we can't keep those worms for the pet trade because if I put food on them, they end up costing me $1 each extra per week. So this worm going to become a $3-4 worm at a pet store. They're not going to sell. They're not going to go. So these worms need to be basically composted. You know, so it's pretty much what it is. So instead of composting these worms or getting rid of them, well, I can't dehydrate those worms and do that. There's not enough to make a project of like dried insects. I don't have enough. But what I can do is I can take these 7,000 worms that are worth about $5,000 and feed them to my chicken. So this is one of the worms that we're going to be feeding our chickens as we grow them for the 12-week process. And now we are at the second week. I'm going to show you another type of worm. So this is the other type of worm that we do. This is the primary worm that we will be feeding them. So those are mealworms. Now we produce our own mealworms as well. We produce about 300,000 mealworms a week. So that's about that's about 30,000. Yeah, 300,000. It's about 30 kilos of worm that we produce every week. Now, again, we sell them to the pet trade, but what we do is that we're not producing those worms for the chickens. We're producing them for the pet trade, and to feed our own animals. So we feed our leopard geckos our own produced mealworms. Now, what I'm going to be feeding the chickens is basically what was not eaten after a week. So we want to make sure that we feed our reptiles gut-loaded worms. So those worms were fed last week, and this is all the leftovers that were not fed. So a normal breeder, what you would do is you would put carrots, you would feed those worms and gut load them again and feed them again. But we have enough that we're able to make a rotation to be able to do that. So today we're going to be feeding those off. Now, mealworms are definitely far away from what the silkworms are. The silkworms is like la crème de la crème, right? We're talking about the foie gras.
The caviar.
The caviar of the worm, you know? But the mealworms is definitely a much cheaper alternative, and it's something that is definitely way better for that because more and more mealworms are being farmed. Now, it's only logical that we grow chickens and we grow crops and we grow mealworms all together. So those mini farms is like such an awesome project for the future because they all go hand in hand. The compost left from the mealworms can be used to grow your crops, and then your crops can be used to feed your chickens and your worms can be used to feed the chickens, and at the end of the day, you can eat all of those meals. So that is definitely the most important thing. So that's another one that we have. Now the third is black soldier fly larvae. So these we do not breed. I mean, we're talking about flies. I'm not fond of flies, but these are dehydrated black soldier fly larvas. So these are produced by some of our friends in Quebec, and they produce a huge amount for the pet food industry. So they dehydrate, they basically cook them and they turn them into powder, and then they use basically the flour to make fish food, to make animal food, and a bunch of different types of food. So they just like incorporate it as an extra protein for the food. So it's definitely it's the future of like pet food is definitely from that one. So this is probably the cheapest worm to produce, and we're just giving it like we buy like 5 kilo bags and we give it to them just to give a variety. I don't like to give one thing to all my chickens, so even for this project, we're going to try to keep feeding them grain on top of all the worms, but we're definitely want to do that. So apart from that, we're going to get to feeding, and I'm going to be putting in all of those, and then I'm going to give you the pleasure to watch how the little chicks react to these. So before we do that, again, I got to mention it again. Please subscribe to our channel. I mean, it is super important that we share this awesome information. I mean, this thing is completely like bananas. It's completely nuts. But you know what? It's by thinking out of the box that we get somewhere. So maybe we're able to reach people that are going to be able to take this project that I'm just going completely crazy over, and they might be able to do something about it. So it's not about me doing something about it, but it's about us doing something for the future of our kids and the next generations to come. Insect meal is the future of food. So keep this in mind, keep sharing this information, and eat insects. You know, eat them yourselves. Find some. There's more and more available. They are delicious. We'll get to that. We eat some all the time. They're amazing. And I mean, until then, just enjoy the show. We're going to start with this silkworms. So, well, I'm going to put those in. So I'm going to put these here.
Those are not the silkworms.
So yeah, these are the mealworms. I'm going to put them down there. Here, and then we're going to do the silkworms and the black soldier flies.
There you go. It's madness. so far they seem to be preferring the mealworms. Well,
So right now, they seem like they're preferring the mealworms. Now the main thing is because we feed them primary mealworms as the base. So we regularly feed them mealworms. The silkworms, we only have access to them once a week. But if you look into them, they're definitely getting more and more curious into eating these big and juicy worms. And surprisingly enough, I mean, we're probably going to be coming by the end of the day or by tomorrow, and there's going to be nothing else left. So they're going to be eating this whole thing. So all you can say right now is cha-ching, because they are eating money. I mean, we gotta admit, it's pretty cool.
it is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Big, juicy globe of worms. Oh my god, look at that one. So this is where you're seeing, basically, you can see that they started having their feathers. So they're still very young. The chicks are 2 weeks old, and they're getting used to everything that is new. So all these worms, everything is new. I mean, I'm hoping that within like 4 or 6 weeks, you'll see these animals. Basically, I open the door, they're gonna come down all over me, will like be in love with me, even though I'll eat them, yes. But I mean, this is like happy food. Happy animals can be best food. So yeah, so I mean, they're definitely really, really cool as animals themselves. I mean, look how cute they are. See? It has a worm in its mouth. But yeah, they're really amazing. We love all the animals that we deal with. So I mean, so yeah, so that's about it. $5,000 of worms. I mean, isn't it crazy? It's completely insane. I love it. I'm enjoying this. And I mean, until then, I'm gonna spend like probably the next hour just like admiring these beautiful animals. Hey guys, a little update on our $5,000 meal chicken feeding. Now, not even 24 hours later, I come check them out, make sure everything's okay, and I want to make sure that they were able to finish everything off. So I grabbed all the bins, and I can't wait to show you that. So this was our mealworm bin, completely empty. The black soldier fly bin, completely empty. And the silkworm bin, completely empty. Had to give them a little bit of grain and some more black soldier fly larvas today, some fresh water, and they're good to go. I mean, we'll keep feeding them mealworms and silkworms weekly. The black soldier fly, they're going to be getting that every day, basically, because we have like some dried ones in stock. We have like 5 kilo bags. So thanks for watching this video. It's been very impressive, honestly. Those little chickens, they're quite something. Until next time, we'll see you soon. And I mean, stay tuned, stay updated on the channel. And again, 2 words, no stress. Love you guys, and we'll talk soon.